So yeah, man, we beat Crystal Palace 4-1. Woof. 8 points, top of the league for Man City. It's nice that obviously this has happened and the break has happened because now obviously Man City's got to play Liverpool. And we've got 8 points gap. They got to play Liverpool as their game in hand, and then so that just means that if they drop points there, woof, imagine if they lose as well. 8 points gap is possible. But yeah, let's see what happens. What happened in the Crystal Palace game? That was just a straight beatdown from us. Top performance. What the first goal was Martinelli. As I mentioned in the previous video already, Martinelli just unbelievable. Obviously, Saka creativity there found Martinelli. Before you even talk about Saka finding Martinelli, let's speak about Ben White, who the whole game crazy passes, constantly finding Saka in between the fullback and the centre back, constantly overlapping, finding him. Just some great passes in there from Ben White. Ben White is a baller, man. He's a baller. I feel like eventually, if he eventually ends up playing centre back, if we eventually end up playing like a back three kind of thing, you're gonna see his ability on the ball in terms of distribution. It's just simply because he's really like playing as fullback and playing in sort of like the wide area. So it seems like we're not seeing too much of his passing range or his ball carrying ability simply because he's playing really wide. I feel like once he's a bit more central and things like that, we're going to see more of his ability on the ball and more of his distribution and his range. He might possibly be our best fullback in terms of distribution. He's just unbelievable. His passing range, his dribbling, the weight on the pass as well was key as well. The amount of times he found Saka there, and he's got those little disguise in his pass as well. You know, it's not just a straight pass. It's a pass where he's looking the other way and just quickly playing the pass, or like just the way he just has his footwork and he's able to find the guy in the right way, the right time, the right space, and gets it to their right foot where where it needs to be and things like that. That's what Ben White's got. I think we'll see a lot more of Ben White's distribution and his range when he moves a bit more central. But again, before the Martinelli goal, that started on the other side from Ben White, playing that pass to Saka getting the ball into the box for Martinelli, who this guy's a banger, man. What's he doing? Gunman, as I said, gets the ball, flips to the left hand side, bang across the goalkeeper, easy as that. And then you got obviously Saka again, as I mentioned, Ben White again with the pass to Saka in there, Saka with a fantastic movement as well, getting in there. And then the third goal was what again, as I mentioned in the previous video, with Trossard playing the false nine role, dropping deep, creating space for the others, and then found Xhaka with the pass again. With the build-up side of Zinchenko again, Zinchenko playing the pass into Xhaka. You see our fullbacks, the contribution these guys have in the build-up play, man, it's unbelievable. Ben White overlapping on that side and finding a pass, and then on this side, Zinchenko playing from the midfield and finding Xhaka in between lines, who then found space because Trossard drew the centre-backs out and then found Xhaka there. And then you got Chiellini, who's offering the alternative, which I also mentioned as well. In the previous video, I've said we need alternatives at left back and right back. It just gives you a variation of attacks, allows you to score goals in different ways. It makes you less predictable. Chiellini came on. They've been facing the likes of Zinchenko the whole game, who's been constantly on the inside. Then all of a sudden, they're facing Chiellini, who's making an overlapping run instead. Found himself free in space, cuts the ball back. Odegaard scored. We've not seen that kind of goal from our fullback creating like that because our fullbacks aren't playing those kind of roles. So I've mentioned already, it's key to have an alternative because when you're struggling to find goals, you can always make those changes on the bench. It's not just about changing your attackers to get goals. You can also change fullbacks to get goals as well, because fullbacks are also in the modern game are very, very important offensively. You see that with Liverpool. It's just another way of scoring goals. It just allows you to have multiple ways of how you can break teams down. And that's why I feel like we need to have an alternative fullback on the left-hand side and also on the right-hand side as well. That's if we're not keeping Chiellini. If we're keeping Chiellini, they just look for an alternative right-back on that side that's going to come in for Ben White at times. And also, I feel like we still need a centre back as well. No, I don't think we need a centre back. I mean, I think we need, if we sign that alternative right back, then it just means that our backup right back would be the likes of Ben White, Tomiyasu, the new signing queue. That all of those guys will be the backup for Gabriel and Saliba. Because we would have a first choice right back who's going to be there. So I feel like if we sign a first choice right back, it just completely improves the depth of our, of our squad, because then it means that when Saliba's injured, for example, the next guy after that is Ben White. Rather than having to go all the way to Holden, we go straight to Ben White as our first choice right back, which is massive. You know what I mean? There's no drop in form or anything. There's no drop in quality. We go straight from Saliba to Ben White, and then the new right back can just slot in a right back there and play in place of Ben White on the right. And there's no one's complaining, no one is scared that something can happen or a mistake is going to happen. And that becomes our first choice right there. And if, for example, Gabriel gets injured, Saliba can just quickly move to the left centre back. He's played there for Marseille. Move to the left centre back position. Ben White comes in as the right centre back, and we've got our new right back playing over there. And that new right back, as I said, someone who can a more traditional style, who's going to offer more overlapping runs, get on the end of the box, who's more of a danger offensively in terms of crossing that teams are going to fear, whereby they'll have to go and mark that guy, therefore creating space for Saka. That's the kind of traditional fullback that I want on that side. I feel like if we have Kieran Tierney and another traditional fullback who can offer overlap, is good defensively, constantly overlapping runs, offering crossing threat and an offensive threat, that gives us great depth in both in the fullbacks area, and then at the same time it gives us depth in the centre back area, because our third choice centre back would then become Ben White. So then you just see it increases the quality of our depth simply because we've signed a right back. Because then you've gone from having to rely on Holding or the new centre back Kill to have to go to Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, and then the fourth choice is probably Tomiyasu before we get to the youngster. So that's how, for me, you can improve the depth in that kind of area anyways. But yeah, man, that's what we are. Where are we in the league anyways? Top of the league, obviously. 8 points at the top. We've got 22 wins and we've got 10 games left in the season. First of all, 22 wins out of 28 games is crazy, just to begin with already. And remember what I've been saying about the aim is to get 28 wins. And when I feel like we've got the title, the way Man City are playing, though, I feel like we might need 29 wins, because Man City are crazy at this point. They're just consistently doing their thing. But I feel like we need Liverpool to do something to Man City, and then we need ourselves to take points off Man City as well. I think if Liverpool and us can take points off Man City, that would leave them, because Man City at the moment they've got 19 wins and they've got 11 games left. If both people take points off them, it would mean that the maximum wins that they can probably get would be 28 wins. Yeah, it would be 28 wins. Because at the moment, they've got 19 wins and they've got 27 games. So they got 29. 9 plus 19, 28. Yep, 19 plus 9. Yep, 28. So to me, it looks like if we can take something off Man City and Liverpool can take something off Man City as well, it leaves them with just they would have to win every single other game and then they can get 28 wins. So I feel like we can also get 28 wins as well. But I think we should also be able to try and aim for 29, 28, 29, and I think the title is ours. I think if we get 29 wins, the title is ours, but we have to take something off. I think no matter what the case may be, we can't lose to Man City, no matter what. We need to take something off Man City, even if it's a draw. And even if they draw to Liverpool, no matter what, we need to take something off Man City. And remember the blocks. I've said, at the moment we're in Block 8, we completely destroyed Block 7. We beat Everton, beat Bournemouth, beat Fulham, beat Palace. Now the Block 8 has started, which is a block of 4 games. And we've got Leeds, Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton. Obviously on paper, we can get 3 wins out of 4 in that. But the Liverpool game, we have to try our best to make sure we don't lose that game. But at the same time, on paper, we can definitely get 3 out of 4 right here. Then you've got Block 9. And obviously, because in the Block 7, we won all 4 games, we've got a game in hand that we can take to a different block. And that game in hand will be crucial in the Block 9. Because in that Block 9, we've got Man City, we've got Chelsea, we've got Newcastle, we've got Brighton. And then Block 10, we just got Forest and Wolves. So in that Block 9, I feel like that's where it's going to be more key, because there's a chance that we can end up dropping points in 2 games. But even if we drop points in 2 games in that block, we're still going to be on track for 28 wins and 29 wins. In order for us to get 28 wins, we just need 6 more wins. I feel like on paper, how can we get 6 wins? Leeds, West Ham, Southampton, let's say Forest, Wolves. That's already 5 wins already. And one of Newcastle and Brighton. That's 6. And we can get 28 wins like that. Or if we beat both Newcastle and Brighton, that's 29 wins. So I think 29 wins is possible. Just because of the way we're playing, we're playing unbelievable. It's obviously it's unprecedented to be smashing up a league like that. But I feel like it's possible. We can definitely reach that margin. We can get 28 wins, 29 wins. I feel like if we hit 29 though, the title is ours. But again, the Man City game is key, is important. We have to take something off Man City. Hopefully, Liverpool take something off Man City as well, and then the title is ours, man. But yeah, man, uh, very very close to getting this title. But yeah, man. One thing I wanted to mention as well was I saw like the flares in the game and outside the game, the fans singing. The atmosphere is crazy. It's unbelievable, man. We've not seen anything like this for. I don't think we've seen anything like this, man. I don't remember like flares and all that sort of things like that. But yeah, man, it's unbelievable scenes, man. If we once we I obviously haven't been able to go to the stadium to watch any games this season. If I can get any tickets or anything like that, I'll try and go to one game at least. But no matter what happens, final stages, last few games of the season, I'm going to be around the stadium somewhere watching the game, celebrating, man. If we're about to win this title, man, celebrating there, pushing the team on to try and earn the title. Hopefully it doesn't go all the way to the last game because then we can start to celebrate as we go and things like that. Which is why it's so important that Liverpool take something off Man City and we take something off Man City as well. So then we can just start the party early. We don't want to start the party right now and jinx ourselves, but can you imagine if the season, if we know we wrap it up with 2-3 games left already? Or obviously, I don't think mathematically, I don't think we can wrap it up that early. But I think obviously we can create a distance whereby we know we're in charge. It's not 1 point gap and stuff like that, and we know that we just have to go and win. And but yeah, man, that happens. I'm gonna be around the stadium celebrating, man. I'm gonna be out there watching it wherever, anywhere, with the fans out there. I can't wait, man. What a season, man. What a flipping season, man. Wow, it's been 19 years, 19 years waiting for a title. We're almost there, we're 10 games away from it. 6 or 7 wins away from it.